How has the creation of Avid impacted the editing process? I will be focusing on film, specifically editing, and how the change from analog, physical cutting and sticking to NLE software has changed the process and how people see it. My dissertation is about NLE and how the development of digital editing has changed films and cinema. Digital has made filmmaking more accessible. Cameras are cheaper and don't require extra purchases for film. The cameras are more practical, they have an autofocus which allows the user to just point and shoot, compared to the process of setting up a film camera and making sure everything is lit, framed and focused correctly. The software gives people access to ideas that wouldn't be there without it. Visual effects like fading in and out are much simpler with just a click of a button. CGI quickly became mainstream alongside the Avid software. Directors and editors can try different ideas with just a click of a button. There isn't a whole reset if the idea doesn't work as well. When digital editing first came around, the storage was big, ugly and expensive. It was a major design flaw. Digital is more portable these days. The storage has gotten smaller and lighter, whereas film footage is only growing in size to create the highest quality image. The filmmakers feel freer to overfilm and try different ideas on set as the footage is sorted through quicker digitally than on film. I will mention how the software is more efficient and allows users to try a lot more ideas without wasting analog film, extra expenses, and time. I want to discuss the positives and the negatives and how other crew members viewed the process before and after the change. Do auteur directors enjoy the process more or less, and do editors get more creative control because of it? How have mainstream auteur directors' films changed by transitioning from analog editing to digital? Have more people wanted to go into editing because of the change?
I imagine there was a liberation for you then in terms of the relationship with your actors, longer takes.
Yes, you know, Keanu, 10 minutes was maximum. It wasn't even really 10. It was 9 something, you know. And when that thing starts rolling, there's a kind of underlying feeling that's precious stuff rolling through there. And it puts a kind of a tension on things.
I could shoot as much as I wanted. I could get the best performances. I didn't have to worry about shooting these little bursts of film. You know, that was ridiculous, but that's what I had to do. That's how expensive it was comparatively.
Digital, a little gizmo, 40 minutes, and you can be running the camera and talking to the actor, starting over again.
Reveal. And now you go around and look out.
And they get down in there and they catch a thing that never would get caught if you had that giant thing there.
I love to run the camera, especially when we're in an emotional place and magic is happening. When you go cut, then all of a sudden everybody gets in there and you were at a place where it was just there. And then everything stops. And it's like, okay, now go back to that. And it's like, no, just run the camera, back to one.
Okay, guys, stand by. As fast as you can get back to your position, you can go again. And I just always felt there was just way too much waiting. Because movies, for me, there's always that momentum problem. You know, because I grew up in the theater and that's how I was trained. And a lot of times in movies, I feel like, can we go?
It's very tough for me to say that I need to be able to shoot a 45-minute take or something and not reload the cameras, because the truth is the entire crew can only concentrate, the actors can only concentrate for so long, and then you need a 2-minute break, 3-minute break, during which time you reload.
When you're running a film camera on set, everyone seems to take things a little bit more seriously. When they hear the film running, when they hear the money running through the camera, basically, everybody brings their A game.
As digital editing became a more mainstream concept, CGI grew alongside it and became a marketing ploy to promote movies. CGI became part of the reason to see the film. I will compare directors and cinematographers who have transitioned to digital or remained with film and why they made the choice. David Lynch and Danny Boyle will be mentioned as they are prominent directors who started with film and quickly transitioned to digital. The Technique of Editing by Carl Reese and Gavin Miller is a deep dive into editing from the very beginning and will provide important information. In the Blink of an Eye by Walter Murch, the editor for Apocalypse Now and The English Patient, talks about the practicalities of editing and tells his thoughts on digital editing. Lots of information right from the source. The documentary Side by Side, directed by Christopher Keneally, shows interviews with auteur directors and their opinions on digital editing and its impact. The Raging Bull, 1980, special features include commentary from Thelma Schoonmaker over the entire film. As this is the first film she collaborated with Scorsese on, I am sure she will have interesting insight and crucial information. My research will be secondary. I can get plenty of reliable information from the internet. This information will be justified by reliable sources, no Wikipedia and other students' essays, opinions. Only industry professionals. I will use secondary research for my dissertation. There are plenty of books, videos, and commentaries to get reliable information online. I will justify my research by carefully choosing who I quote and listen to. I will make sure not to use Wikipedia and industry workers' opinions without facts backing them up. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Thank you for watching and listening.